folks, welcome to another episode of my 4x4. Today we have a vehicle that you may recognise if you're a viewer of our channel. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to call the owner of this vehicle in. We're going to have a little bit of a chat so you can see what's happening with it. Ben. G'day mate.
Hey.
Hey, I'm sure the viewers recognise the face.
Okie
dokie, the old cruiser. I'll leave it with you. Talk us about it. We'll start at the front here, just work through all your mods and what they are.
Alright, so we've got 98 105 series. Obviously, the bull bar. When I bought it, I had a crappy bar, I had a crappy roof rack. I didn't have anything else. Like, and lift, crappy lift. So,
well, it's a cruiser. Sorry, so I couldn't resist that Toyota joke. Okay, so you had a crappy bull bar on. What's this one that you put on it?
It's the Rock Armour or the powerful 4x4 bull bar with the winch cradle when I eventually get one day. Obviously these spotlights come with it. Obviously pretty obvious. Kings.
Just while we're on the bull bar, Ben. Sorry, we're going through it. It seems
chunky.
Very, very chunky. Is that like an oversized tube on it?
I don't know. That's literally how it came out. I'm pretty sure it's a knockoff of because you've got like a little circle there.
Yeah.
Like that looks like an opposite lock or something. So it's definitely a Chinese knockoff. But
no, I mean it's really sturdy, and that was just something that I noticed standing here with my hand resting on it. Like that's considerable diameter. That so no problems. And obviously the King's lights. How do you find the King's lights?
Right, but yeah. They haven't let me down. Being the LED, they're super bright. Street signs, the reflections of those things, unbelievable.
Yeah, okay, so you suffer with the same thing as most of us do. No problems. And I see you've got the stone guard.
Yeah, that was already on it when I got it. I didn't add that.
Okay,
but it's a very good little feature.
Yeah, I was going to ask that question. I've seen them on quite a few of the trucks, and I've never had one on one of mine because, to be perfectly honest, don't really worry too much about stone chips. Can't get too many more on mine. Okay, while we're here at the front, you've got the Uniden aerial.
Yeah, that was a recent upgrade. Scored it off a bloke at work. Pretty cheap. I only just managed to get it operational again because I just had too many issues with my radio.
What is it? Is it 6?
Yeah, 6.6. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's definitely suits the car now compared to the ones you would have seen on it before.
No problems whatsoever. Okie dokie. So anyway, look, we'll leave the old girl from the front because we've just had a very brief talk about it. We'll swip around to the side because there's a couple of bits and pieces that I'd be interested in asking what they are for. No problems. Okay, well now we're at the side of the vehicle. I'll walk through. We'll get to your tyres and bits and pieces later. But what I was alluding to before is this little modification, this wonderful feature. What the hell is that for, mate?
10 kids on? Nah.
Works.
I'm pretty sure it's an antenna for your radio, but
it
looks like it's broken.
That would make sense, I guess, in an aerial running up the side.
When I changed the guard out, and people that know the car, they'll know the damage that's on it. There was already a hole there, so there's obviously a factory antenna. Yeah. That's aftermarket, but it's not functional anymore.
No, fair enough. No, I noticed it there, and I thought, I'm not exactly sure what use that would be, but yeah, no, that's cool. Okie doke. Anyway, look back onto the real bits and pieces I'll put down the side. Side steps.
Yeah, same deal. Rock Armour or powerful 4x4. They're supposed to be a step slider. They've obviously been well used. You can tell by the rust. Good bit of kit, I reckon. Like cheap, but they've saved the car a few times. Not so much this side, but the other side definitely. You'll see when we get around them.
Okay, so they're a step and slider all combined. Oh yeah, they go straight through to the chassis. Yeah. Okay, they look fairly robust. So what we'll do now is we're going to give it the weight test, guys. Oh, they're solid. If they can hold these two, they're solid.
When I had it, it had the factory alloy steps that bolted to the body. That didn't last long.
Yeah, no, they never do. They never do. And okie dokie, there's a couple of other little aftermarket bits and pieces.
Yeah.
You've got the weather shields on to try and keep a little
Definitely.
bit of water out so you can crack the windows.
One of the first things I bought for it.
Yeah,
Definitely
no,
needed.
Yeah, I was going to say they're only cheap. They're a handy bit of kit that's really nice to be able to crack that window down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Standard side mirrors,
Yep.
which is fair enough. And okie doke, so up the top here, let's start with your awning.
King's 3x2, so 3 out, 2
Too long?
too long. Only used it once, already broken it. So it's yeah, it's good.
Okay, so what you're saying there is it's a budget modification that's a budget modification. Fair enough.
Well, the last trip we did, the Horrocks for Geraldton, it caught the wind and yeah, broke the pins. The ball.
In its defence, that was pretty
Windy.
breezy. That first night, that first night was pretty breezy. And okay, so you've got that hanging off your roof rack. What
Yep.
sort of roof rack have we got there?
I don't know the brand because I bought it second hand, but they're pretty much all genuine. They're all the same. So I reckon that's a Super Centers one as well.
Yep.
But it's the rooftop tent style rack.
Yep. No problems.
With
And
the
of course
older-
you've got the I'm assuming King's light bar.
I assume so. It was, Again, that was there when I bought it. I think it's a 40-inch curved bar.
Yeah.
Or 42, something like that. I haven't measured it.
Do you get with that mounted there, and I can see you've got it back a little bit, so it might not be so bad. But with the white bonnet, do you get much reflection off your
No,
bonnet?
it's the only reflection is street signs.
Street sign, yeah, which we all suffer
But
with.
at night, like the area we're in now, this whole area would be completely lit up with just with the lights.
No, that's good. Like, I mean, I'm asking a question that I already know because we know you've got a really good set of lights on this. I was just asking more about the reflection because it's set back just that little bit from the front. That probably alleviates that problem. Okay, so while we're at the side and before we sort of venture down towards the back of the vehicle, let's talk about your tyres and your lift.
Yep.
So, okay, run through your tyres.
Tyres, recent upgrade to the 315/75s.
So that's a 35.
34.6 if you want to get technical.
Okay, well, let's not get technical because it's too early in the morning. So essentially it's a 35. One thing, I see they're an A+ mud terrain. I haven't heard of the A+ brand, and I know you've just said that they're in a new upgrade. So it's not like this is no tyre review by any stretch. What are you like? How have you found them in the short time you've had them on? Like road noise, traction?
Well, honestly, if you're out there and you care about road noise, get out of a 4-wheel drive.
Fair call. And I can appreciate that because most tyres are a little bit noisy. But yeah, traction.
But road noise wise, they're not too bad. Honestly, the first major 4-wheel driving event I did with them was the Horrocks trip, and driving those highways, it's just like driving any other normal tyre.
Yeah, and any other normal
There's
four-wheel drive?
noise,
No,
but
that's all right.
just turn your volume up a bit more.
Yeah. Well, that's what I do with mine, and I've got the known brand. You drive along, you go, geez, that's noisy. Oh, not so bad now. So yeah, look, that's something that we'll probably have a little bit more of a review on further down the track to see how they do handle with a little bit of wear and a little bit more use. Okay, lift.
It's a bit of a mix-up. I thought it was just 2 inches lift, so when I first got it, it had the King's standard 2-inch lift, so it's a King's springs and raw shocks. So it's still running the raw shocks, still running the King's up front. I found out in doing some modifications where you would have seen the photo, it is running coil spacers.
Yeah.
So it's around 3 inches on the front.
Yeah. The
rear, I've recently, well, not recently, but I upgraded because of more modifications you'll see in the back to a 500 kilo spring from Ironman. Comfort wise, you wouldn't even know it's there because I don't have a lot of weight in the back at the moment, but going over speed bumps and bumps, you don't really feel it.
Yeah.
So it probably, I don't know, equates to about 3 inches across the board.
Yeah, no, that's not so bad. Not so bad whatsoever. It's sorry, I know jumping back a little bit because we've just come off tyres. One question I'm going to ask you because I can see a little bit of lock. Do you have any scrubbing issues with the 35s on this?
Yes, just. I don't know if you want to come in closer and have a look, but I'm full lock when I'm turning, going up a driveway. Pretty much it just rubs that little bit of the guard. So turning is going up driveway, going forward driving on when you're locking it.
Yeah.
Other than that, I haven't had any up the front. I haven't had any.
No, that was just one little telltale because I could see it was just a really slight rub, and I know since you've had those on, we've done a couple of day trips. It's been
I'm planning
a lot of flex. So yeah,
I'm planning on removing the mud flaps themselves and running just the flat mud flaps, so I can actually pin them back when we're off road, so I don't rip them out.
No, that's not so bad. So yeah, a lot of vehicles when you do upgrade the tyres, they have all sorts of troubles where you've got to get the angle grinders out and you've got to start cutting and chopping.
I was told not to run them because they wouldn't fit. They fit.
Yeah, well, you get that. You get that. Okay, so we'll move a little bit further down the back here. So yeah, one question I do have to ask, and I will. Creative Customs Garage. Yes.
For a number of years, I've had like a little hobby business thing. I don't know what you'd call it, where I like to build my own cars. For people that would know this name, they'll know the car that I built in the past. That's where this all started from. So it's just my own little advertising.
Yeah. Okay. No, that's fine. So it's like it's not a full-on business or anything like that yet. It's just something that you do as a hobby that you put a name to. So yeah, no, that's fine. And we'll start to walk around the back. But just one thing I noticed, give that a bit of a clean up. Perth FourbeeFour Adventures.
I've got to get a bigger one.
We're going to get him tattooed.
Let me get one across the back.
FourbeeFour Adventures. No problems. Look, okay. What we'll do now is we'll move around to the back of the vehicle and we'll see what's happening there. Hey, as if by magic, we're now at the back of your vehicle, and there's a few things going on. So let's start at the bottom and work up. So rear bar,
rear bar, same as the front. Powerful 4x4, rock armor, whatever company you want to call it. I pretty much bought all the bar rack in one hit. I went into the store in Welshpool, said how much for this, and this, and they gave me a good price. And here's the money. Here, left.
No, that's cool. And twin tyre carriers.
Yep, just a standard thing. Like with these bars, if people know, they come as this, and they also have a jerry can holder that bolts on. Doesn't actually like ARB or the other brands where it's the arm is
instead of the
tyre. Yeah. This is universal.
Yep, no problems. And one thing that I do see here is
the old gas bottle.
The old gas bottle that's mounted at the back. Tell us about the mount.
So, going back to my business thing, I like to tinker in that, so I was trying to think of a way to carry my gas bottle. I don't like carrying them in the car because, yes, they have the caps or the bungs or whatever you call them, but I don't like carrying in the car because we've all seen the videos.
Cannot end well on occasions.
I don't like them on the roof because, one, they're not accessible as easy. If you're in a rollover, God forbid, you can't get to it quickly.
Yeah.
Here, if you're in a rollover, well, it's fine. Yeah. The only thing that's going to hit this is a four-wheel drive that can bull bar that can hit this height, or a truck.
Yeah.
So for me,
I guess what you're saying is true. If a truck runs into the back of you up towards here, you've probably got a whole lot of other things that you need to worry about rather than the potential of that sort of going bang.
Being that's encased, that's not really encased, but it's around a tyre, so if something was to happen, tyres didn't take most of the blow anyway.
So you're 100% right. So your tyre would take most of the impact there.
Yeah.
But so that whole bracket that you've built up here, you've made yourself, like designed and built yourself.
Yeah, in like an hour.
Yeah. No, sweet. I mean, and that's really cool for anyone out there that's interested. Hit us up on the channel, speak to the man here, and I'm sure he can see you right.
I wouldn't put anything bigger than a 2 kilo cylinder on the back. But if you want to go bigger.
Yeah, no, horses for courses. Okay, while we're here, do you want to open it up, like just swing your tyre carriers out for us?
Yeah.
Okay, well that's nice and easy and they lock open. Very good. Okay, open it. First thing I noticed, folks, water safety, in case he's going in quite a deep crossing and he comes unstuck. That
goes over my snorkel.
A very handy mod, that one, guys. Okay, so we'll put that back in there. We don't want to leave that behind. So other than the water safety device that you've got here, and I see you've got some really easy access for panel beating to your rear doors, which is sweet. Just talk us through it. We'll start with your drawers and then work up your grid.
So going back to the heavier springs, the reason why I had to do it was because of the rear bar and the drawers and all the stuff in the drawers. Obviously in the drawers, this one's mainly the recovery, camping, all the stuff I need to set up a camp for the night. And this one temporarily. This one holds the tall toilet for the missus and the kids mainly, because you know.
Well, look, you have to make them comfortable.
That's it. Well, we do have a proper toilet, but this is for the merely overnighters, and we're just constantly on the move. And my 2-burner, old Coleman 2-burner, fantastic bit of gear that is.
Oh, your starter motor fixer?
No, that's for star picker driver, and there's an awning, the awning wall in there as well. This, once I start really converting it, this will be more of a storage for pantry stuff.
Yeah. Okay,
well.
and they're obviously Titan drawers again. Through
King's drawers. Yep.
There's okay, and you've got under the wings on there.
Yeah, under the wing on this side is the compressor. Into that side's nothing. It's just all my wiring. So the Waco fridge, the CF40, I think it was. Fantastic.
Good bit of kit.
Oh, best thing I've ever bought. I'm going to buy another one.
Sweet! He's going to buy another one. I'll have that one.
So, but yeah, like I'm gonna obviously it's going to be a lot more decked out like that once I start really getting more stuff done.
And you've got the cargo barrier in there.
Yeah, modified cargo barrier to fit under the. People say you don't need to modify them. I couldn't get it to fit in with the drawers, so I just trimmed it off and then rebuilt it along the bottom to sit on the drawers.
Okay, yeah, well, I mean, it's probably not a hard little bit of fabrication to do to get it to fit in. So
no, well, it's pretty strong. Like it bolts to the drawers and bolts to the rest of the car like it would.
Yeah, but that's standard practice with a modified four-wheel drive. People say, "Oh, that's not going to fit." You bolt it straight on. That'll fit perfect. You go to put it in, and there's not a hope in hell.
Yeah.
Okay, so while we're here on back up, like moving up a bit, up the top here, we've got the camp light or the work light.
Yeah.
And you've got a couple of LEDs. I'm assuming they are brake lights, tail lights as well,
brake
are they?
lights, reverse lights, and indicators. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. No problem. So you just wired those up.
Yeah. Originally, I bought them for a D-Max. That's what car I had before this, because I kept destroying my tail lights when I was going off road, but never fitted them. So I was like, I wasn't happy with just the bottom lights.
Yeah.
And obviously you can't see the side lights with the tyres. So I thought, no, better.
Yeah.
If you've got a truck coming, he's not going to see those lights.
Yeah, no, well, I've followed you many times, and I've got to be honest, those ones down the bottom aren't the easiest things in the world to see.
So that's why.
I think safety value, safety factor up there, and also for the constabulary, whack those up there, nice and cheap, nice and easy to wire up.
People say you can never have too many. You can never have too many lights. You can have too many lights, but that's not too many. It's not too many.
No problems whatsoever. Okie doke. So we'll break it here from the outside of the vehicle, and we'll go and have a look and see what's happening inside. Okay, so here we are in the office. Let's call it the office.
The office.
And rather than just letting you have a crack at it, I thought I want to make a couple of observations. Now, this is not being derogatory in any way, shape, or form, but I've just noticed when I got in, I thought my vehicle had some cracks in some glass. But congratulations, you beat me. Okay, look, now, in all honesty, let's start off here. The very first thing that I noticed when I got in, it's a roll bar.
Yeah, it's I'm pretty sure it's an ex-mine car. So, yeah, it's just standard. I haven't even tried to remove it because...
Why would you?
Yeah.
It's like an extra safety feature. It's in there. It's pretty
solid. That's it. Yeah, roll over it. Save your life.
Yeah, so let's say that you've done that as a safety feature. You went to great expense and a lot of hard work to fit that to the vehicle. No problems. Okay, look, we've had the frivolity. talk us through some of the mods that you've got going on in here.
Pretty much all standard, just your normal everyday mods. That deck that was already in there, but it's a DVD player and all that crap mainly to keep the kids happy. Super cheap special UHF with an external speaker because I couldn't hear shit when I just had it normal set up. Bolted. This was a window mounted bracket, which is now bolted to the dash. This is what I use. This, that's the HEMA on the tablet.
Yeah, okay. So it's a HEMA navigation system.
Yeah.
Question time. How do you find them?
Comparing this to my in-laws, what was it, HEMA HX7, I think it was.
Yeah.
This was far easier to use than his. The only downside is if you're going to remote areas, you need to download the sections to be able to zoom in further.
Yeah.
But pinpoints, coordinates, all that stuff, so much easier to use because I can literally just do this and there's a point already there.
Yeah, oh, that's cool. It's no problem. Now everyone's going to know our secret location, Paul.
I know. It doesn't give you that much. But and then because I've got this, you also have on the HEMA cloud, you can go onto the website and you can start punching in everything you want from other sites or whatever, and it will instantly. You just have to load up the file and it will just download everything you want.
Okay. Oh no, that's really cool. Okie doke. So anyway, just take a half a step back here. It's obviously a 5-speed manual. You see that's the old super cheap UHF. Yep. You've got your mic hung up the front. Never had any problems with communications. That's never let you down.
Apart from that's the issues I had was between that and here.
Yeah, well, I mean, you can't help bad luck with an aerial firing. It's got nothing against your unit.
But yeah, other than that, the only downside to this actual unit was this button. Was it this one? Yeah. These go up and down, but they're easy to press while you're talking.
Yeah.
So you have to lock the, because that's a
okay. What are they? Like volume buttons?
That's the channel.
Okay,
change channel.
Change channel.
Literally, you just bump it, it will change channel. You won't even know you've done it.
Oh, that'd be sweet. So everyone in the convoy is sort of calling in you.
I've done it before.
Oblivious to the whole thing. No problems. Okay, so everything else is just normal run of the mill air conditioning, yada yada.
Yeah.
No lockers in it.
I don't know what that's for because it's a Povo Pack 105, so it doesn't have a center diff lock.
Yeah, well, that was what I was asking. I know for a fact that you haven't got lockers, but I'm sitting here looking at the actual physical
Apparently,
button.
with the full times, when you pull it into low, this will automatically engage. But if you want it to work in high, you can hit that. This is all conspicuous. I don't know.
Yeah, okay.
But this doesn't do anything. There's no lights come on my dash.
Well, it's a fancy looking switch anyway.
It is a fancy looking switch.
Like for people that don't know any better, or yourself when you get to a hard bit of track, just in your mind, I'm going to put my lockers on. Press that button.
But obviously I've added the USB chargers, and I've added these. There was a mistake going this size, but so that's one's for the round spotlights and one's for the roof. These are major overkill, and that one's for the reverse, or the camp light.
Yeah, absolutely.
But that, funnily enough, come out of the bull bar that I'd fit at work, fits straight into the Cruiser.
Very nice. And one thing I see you've got here that obviously doesn't work, but it's more for aesthetics, and that would be the
beautiful.
Some would call it a handbrake lever, but I just call it a stick that gets in people's way.
It's the Jesus bar, so you can go like this. It's just the old fancy.
Everyone knows I'm taking the mickey out of the Toyotas. They're a fantastic vehicle. God knows I've got one myself. That's in the build process, but we get there. Their handbrakes aren't good, but that's like most other four-wheel drives.
You just can't. It doesn't matter how much adjusting I do. I just can't get it to work.
Yep. Well, like I say, don't stress. I drive a Jeep. I have one that's there for show as well.
So I just use rocks or trees, which you'll see in the videos.
Works for me. I find particularly what works well if you want to park up is just put it in two-wheel drive, give her a bit of a spin, and she digs her own hole.
Yep,
works a treat. Okie doke. So it's starting to warm up a little bit in here. So I think we've had a good look around at the vehicle. So what we might do is we might jump out where it's a little bit cooler and just have a little bit of a chat.
Yep.
Okie dokie. So very, very briefly, one thing that we didn't sort of go over too much while we were walking around the car, or didn't go over at all because it's sitting right up the top, is the solar panel. Now, we've grabbed some footage and I'm sure we'll be able to cut that in there. So tell us, what is it? Where'd you get it from? How good is it?
Super cheap. It's 110 watt panel, which you'll see the footage in the back with the regulator and all that. But yeah, I've got to build in a new bracket to help with some aerodynamics and to actually keep it up in the air so I can get stuff underneath.
Get stuff under it?
At the moment, the rack's unusable because of it.
Yeah, okay, so it's a 110 watt and that works quite well for you?
That fridge runs 24/7, especially when we're out camping. I haven't noticed at all that the fridge turns off.
Yeah, okay. So well, yeah, I mean, we were away for, it wasn't a super long trip, but we were away for 4 days and you didn't seem to have any bother at all.
Well, we've done camping trips with the family to areas like we are now, where the sunlight's not there all the time.
Yeah.
It's usually by the second day I need to chuck on the second solar panel to keep the fridge charged, but for normal everyday use it's fine. Yeah, it does what it needs to do. No problems.
Okie dokie. So I guess just a little bit of a chat now that we've sort of gone through most of the mods and stuff like that. One thing that really sticks out to me is it's a real four-wheel drive. Yeah. Let's face it, you use it as a four-wheel drive. Yeah. So whether we're taking the mickey out of it or whether we're not taking the mickey out of it, it's one of those friendly banter type things. Well, yeah, it's a four-wheel drive that's used for what it's meant for. Yep. And being a young family man, obviously money is a key issue. And we notice that when you walk around, a majority of your mods here, right up our street as far as our channel is concerned, is budget mods. Yep. Is there anything that you've gone, okay, I've bought budget, geez, I wish I didn't spend my money on that, I would have saved up and bought a better known brand?
No, not really. Because at the end of the day, a lot of the stuff it's all the same anyway. Yeah. Like, okay, King's Awnings. People talk shit about King's Awnings. People are disgusted with that brand. It's the same shit out of the same factory. Let's face it. Yeah. It's all the same.
Well, very true. But I guess more where I'm coming from is with the awning, you know, we can't all afford to spend $1,000 or $1,500 on an awning. So, you know, like we go down that budget track and we buy a cheaper version. Yeah. It does the job.
Yeah, that's it. Like the swag that I've got, King's. I've only used it once, so you know. But I know my in-law Dylan. He's used his. I don't know. 10 times maybe, and nothing's really gone wrong with it, so that's why I bought it. Yeah. But the sleeping bag that I bought was King's as well. Yeah. You know, I got the idea from Paul for that. Geez, that thing is fantastic. Yeah,
and that I guess that's where we come from. Like a lot of people's perception is because it's, and I'm not going to use the C word. Well, I need to use the word so we all know. I'm not going to go down cheap. I'm going to go down budget. Simply because we can't all stick our hand in our pocket for tens of thousands of dollars worth of modifications. We've got other more important things to spend the money on, so you buy the budget option. Yeah. And a lot of people look down on that or frown on that. But in my experience, a lot of people frown on the budget thing. But at the end of the day, if you can get something that fits your purpose, sure, there's plenty of other better quality things out there, but you're paying for it. But if you can put a couple of bucks in your pocket that's actually going to pay for fuel, that gives you the opportunity to get out on the track. So I think that's a really important thing for everybody to understand and go, okay, King's moved into the market. They're not there challenging your Alucabs and your ARBs and so forth and so on. They've got a spot in the market that's particularly suited to budget, which allows people the opportunity to buy things that they need to get themselves out on the track and enjoy the Australian outdoors.
Exactly. That's all you can afford. That's all you can afford. Who cares? No. But like, budget-wise, you look at my tyres. who's heard of that brand? You know.
Yeah, well, I'll be honest, and I said that
Exactly.
when we were doing the first walk around, never seen them before.
I like to buy things that are, you know, unknown.
Yeah.
So I'm giving them a go. If they don't work, they don't work.
Well, I guess at the end of the day, what you need to look at is probably better performing tyres on the road, and people will go down the side of this brand is safer than that brand, but they need to meet an Australian standard to be able to be sold here.
Exactly.
So they must meet an Australian standard.
Exactly.
Obviously, there's a safety element built into them. Yeah, there's probably other tyres out there that are better, but it does meet Australian standards. So like it's what you could afford. We give them a go.
Yeah.
You see how they work out, and if they're no good, you learn. Let people know and move on.
But with the last car I had, I started off, I wouldn't say they're cheaper, but Maxxis had cheaper tyres at the time. As they got popular, they got more expensive.
Yeah.
And then the same as things happened with mud treks, same things happened with the forces. Won't be long till you say these on every single ball drop.
Yeah. Well, and that happens. But anyway, I guess now quick change of subject. 105 series, obviously a very, very capable off-road vehicle. I'm not going to ask you how much action it's seen because I think that's obvious, and the fact that we know each other quite well. But on a long trip, and we'll go back, Horrocks we did not that long ago. People will see the Horrocks video prior to this one dropping. How did you find it for comfort?
Comfort-wise, I don't mind driving it. Like obviously up there it's a lot hotter, so the leather or whatever they are, leather or whatever, obviously not the comfiest. But with comfort, sitting when driving wise, it's good. I like it.
But I noticed when I was sitting in there, and I mean you got to compare apples with apples. It wasn't. I wouldn't say it was luxuriously comfortable, but it certainly wasn't uncomfortable.
Yeah. I do plan on changing out the seat. The drive passenger seat, doing away with the bench seat, putting in a bucket, purely to run the second friction in the middle.
You do know that that's going to interfere with your life with your missus, because with the bench seat, one of the tricks is when you're off road, is get the armour all out, give her a good shine up, okay, and a lot of left hand downs, because. But anyway, look, that's just a tip for you guys out there that drive something like this with a bench seat, particularly the young blokes. For us old blokes, forget it.
The biggest reason I want to get rid of it is because purely not just because I want to put the fridge in the middle, it's to stop the kids from sitting in the front. Yeah, and because they're sitting there and you trying to select the gear on that, or they bump it or whatever. And especially when you're doing a climb.
Yeah, well, 100%. So the old girl's seen some action. She's never let you down. We've had some good times in it. We've had some good laughs. Yeah. I think normally I'd ask you what is your most, probably your most elaborate bogging, but I think what we might do is if you're new to our channel, I'm sure we'll drop a link in just here, and we'll quite possibly go through some of the more elaborate boggings and snatchings, because that's been really humorous.
Like you said, I use it like a four-wheel drive.
Look, we're not going to go there. No, look, at the end of the day, it's a nice rig. It's a very capable rig. Suits your purpose. You've done a lot of modifications on it to quite a tight budget. It hasn't let you down out there on the tracks. And the beauty of it is, we're out there almost every other weekend. Yep. So look, congratulations on your build. Thank you very much for bringing your car here today to show it to everybody. Anyone that wants to see this girl in action, just jump on the channel and have a little bit of a look. Other than that, again, thank you very much for coming. Thank you very much for watching if you've made it through this far, and we'll see you again on the next episode.